Hello and welcome back. Now, this is probably video 3 in my list, and we have looked so far at the type of car you want, how big it has to be, what distance you'd like to cover. So we are starting to come out with a certain number of cars that come into your area that you could possibly get, because they cover the distance you want, because they cover the number of people you want and the size of the boot, and them are the ones that you've technically shortlisted because they come near the price of your maximum but below. So below and up to maximum of how much you can spend. Depending on that figure will depend on how big that range is and how many cars will now come into that range. Okay, so let's look at it for me. The amount of money I had to spend and the amount of money I would be happy to spend in monthly payment meant that my range was this side of a very small number. Missing out all of the cars which were too small, all the little tiny runabouts, all the ones with less than 100-mile range, all the Leafs because they come into that. And all that would come into it would be like a Zoe, but that's still a little bit on the small side, so that moved off. But in 2020 we got a new car which started hitting that it came into the figures that I could possibly get away with. So looking at what car that I could possibly get was restricted to a very small number, and frankly the number was very small. Zoe and Ioniq 28 kilowatt. A new car entered because its buy price, brand new, was ridiculously low when it hit the market, and its monthly payment came into the amount I would be happy to pay. But this is where you stop. I actually seen if I could get a loan for that car, and I could, and I got offered a loan to get that car. I could have just went buy. Without any looking into that vehicle, I could have physically just bought that vehicle brand spanking new. And what vehicle was it? Now, I think we should just tell you that vehicle was an MG EZ EV. It came in with government and car discounts just over £20,000. Although it was at the high end of what I would be happy, it was still a new car which offered the size and all the things that I looked for. But then I did the step back. Although I put in for a loan and got approved for it, which was good, I didn't continue with the loan after I finished the next step. I did every single YouTube video, and I have done every single EV channel video there is since deciding I wanted to get an EV. This is not a 2 or 3 week project. For me, this has actually been, 5 months in the making. Would have been shorter if it wasn't for a certain virus that happened in the UK. That distance would have been shorter. But now, even in 2020, new vehicles are coming in, although some of them are coming in near to a point where I can get, their downsides aren't making them worth the me going extra, which I would have to do it. So I had the Ioniq and I had the MG. I looked up the MG. The MG came in with some very unusual and things which I didn't like when it first came out. And it still has, even now, even though it's been slightly improved, some things that I can't accept on the grounds that it will be a much dearer car to run. One, it's a slightly higher insurance group than the Ioniq. So let's take it that I selected the Ioniq. It's insurance group 16 or 17 if you get the SE. So that's quite low. Yes, it only has a 28 kilowatt battery. I can't afford the new higher one because it doesn't come into my price range to get the 38 kilowatt battery, but the 38 kilowatt battery charges slower. But then I wonder whether that makes a heap of difference because I'm not race charging the battery. You don't understand that one? Don't worry, don't think about it. So I am at a 28 kilowatt Ioniq is the number one choice because of size, range, and that is efficient. Its battery size can outbeat, because of its efficiency, cars with much bigger batteries, and it can slaughter an MG's 44 or 42.5 kilowatt hour battery with a 28 kilowatt battery. So that isn't good because you are putting more energy into it, which means it's costing you more money a mile, and you can't improve it in any way. So therefore it moves the MG further away. Being a more dearer car than what I'd set as a level and could get a car for, it has moved away. Now there's second-hand versions and they're now right on top of each other for things, but the MG for me still has negative items. So therefore for me the MG isn't in my thought because of its efficiency. It's not good enough. It's pretty poor. Out of 85 cars listed on the database of electric cars and their efficiencies, it's down at 73. And it physically gets beat by a van for its efficiency, which I might as well just get the van then at that rate. So therefore it has a good battery size and it has battery management, which makes it better than a Leaf, but it has bad efficiency, which loses points because it will cost me more to run throughout every single year I have it. Every single mile I do will cost me more money, and that's bad, especially if the electricity price goes up. It will cost me more money to run, and that pushes it away. It may not push for you, but it pushes for me. I think of cost. Not only that, it has some very nasty bings and bongs which have now been reduced a bit, but I didn't like them. It has a slow infotainment system which thwipe and it's very slow. Its charge point door was said to be flimsy, and it's also that to get the charger in it's at a low level, so you have to bend down more. It's just not that nice for that type of things. Its big benefit was the big glass roof, but its efficiency and its drag and all of that means it's thirsty and it rules it out for me. It could improve with updates and it might bring it back up, but right now the Ioniq doesn't need any updates, and it has, everyone who's driven it and put videos up on YouTube, a really good drive score. People like driving it, and they say it's boring looking. I look at it and go, well, actually it's a hell of a lot better looking than a Leaf and many others, so I'm quite happy. It's got its shape for its drag, so therefore it has to have that shape. I don't care. The least thing I care about is what the Ioniq looks like. To me, it isn't that bad looking compared to many cars there is on the market. So with that, we have picked car. We then go to the next phase. We constantly review the car to see if anything changes and gets anything negative. But we then move to the next stage, is looking up every source where we can buy this vehicle from and understanding how many miles it's done, how old the car is, and how much its price is. Therefore, we can see what range the car should sell for. So when we come to the point when we say we can spend money and we're going to buy the car, is what's on your thing? This car, right, that's good. Good price, good amount of miles done for the price. It meets it, fine, that's the one we're going to buy. This is what you need to get to. It's not just a fine car, buy car. It's fine car, understand, is this car good value? So our next is search the internet, search all the car buying sites and all of this to bring together your knowledge of this vehicle and how much it should sell for, how old it will be, what price it starts off, and the ranges that it covers for each of the years that this car is in production. And which one of these years you say, okay, I'm going to go for that year, and that's what I'm buying. I have even done insurance checks to see how much it will cost to run for insurance, and of course a 2016 car is lower in insurance than a 17, 18 and 19, but you see the whole range of how much the insurance is for your vehicle that you want to get. Therefore that will also help going, well, yes, the insurance is higher than what I currently pay. Am I happy with the increase, or do I need to say, well, I'll get actually the year younger one, the older car, because that's going to save me £40 on insurance. I'll have the £40 and it doesn't matter that it's a year older car. So look at these. This is your next step. You've picked your car. Find out about the car. What's its insurance? How much would it be for you? Find out what range of prices there is for the years of the car. How many miles have they done? Which one has the best price, best mileage? What fits you and your budget best? See you on the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Bye for now.